Alrighty, good morning folks, it's Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and today we are out camped on a beautiful little reservoir up here in the Cascade Mountains. I've got Beth with me, and we're actually using our rooftop tent setup for this trip just because I thought it would be fun. We've been at the shop for a couple days doing projects, and we wanted to just get out and spend some time outdoors for the weekend. And since I haven't actually used the RTT for, since last fall, I thought it would be fun to just take it out for the weekend and do some camping. And man, what a beautiful little place. Right now, Beth's getting some video. There's some pelicans, a big group of pelicans just out in front of us. But we're going to kind of get going this morning. Beth's going to make us some breakfast here in a minute. And then I think Ben and I are going to go off and do a little bit of exploring for the day. Are you getting some good video of those pelicans?
Yeah, these are American pelicans. I think they have the black on them. They're so pretty.
So like I said, it's been a few months since I used my RTT, and I have everything pretty well dialed in and set up in totes so that I can just grab and go. But since it's been a few months, I've been in those totes and grabbed things out and not always put things back, and I've messed with some things. So there are a few things that I am missing, but for the most part, my setup is working pretty well. I'll just kind of continue to dial it in. I'm hoping to, get out a few times in the tent whenever I'm in the area, just to grab the truck, be able to grab the truck and go and have some fun with it. Because it is kind of nice, especially on a nice weekend like we have right now, just to come out and do something different. It was really beautiful this morning, waking up, having some coffee, and the sun was coming up, and it was just beautiful skies, and being able to just sit in the rooftop tent, have some coffee, and look out over the beautiful lake. It was really nice this morning. Dude, are you kind of wound up this morning? Are you kind of wound up this morning? Just got lots of energy. Can't even keep you on the camera. Good morning.
Good morning. I made some coffee and I'm cooking some breakfast. I'm doing some sausage, eggs, and I'm going to cut up some strawberries. I thought that sounded kind of yummy.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm really excited about breakfast, but I'm actually really excited about some more coffee.
Yeah. Do you have a mug or do you want to borrow one?
Can I borrow one?
Yeah.
I don't have a good, I have a little small thing, but...
Oh yeah, you're not in your normal setup, huh?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can I use my Stanley?
That would be great. Wait.
You guys saying good morning? They're so brothers. He tucks back in.
All right, so Beth is finishing up breakfast, but while she's working on that, I'm going to go ahead and start putting my tent away. Beth actually has somebody coming over today. They're going to film her van for Tiny Home Tours. It's a big YouTube channel that does tours of van people and people who have tiny homes. They actually did a video on me about like 3 years ago that I'll link down in the description if you're interested. Of course, that was when the van had the old build in it, and now it's got a whole new build in it. So it's a little outdated, but since they're going to be here filming with her all day, I don't want me and Ben here disturbing them. So me and Ben are going to take off, and we're going to go see if we can find a hiking trail. So I need to actually get all cleaned up, get the rooftop tent all put away and settled so that way I can drive out of here. And that is one of the reasons why I still really love this rooftop tent from NaturNest. It is just so easy for me to get out and put away. It's just not a problem to me at all to have to put this away right now. Whereas older rooftop tents that I've had, it took a lot more effort and I'd have been like, ah. But this one's just really easy. So Anyways, I'm going to get it put away real quick, and then we'll eat breakfast, and then we'll get down the road and go see if we can find a cool trail to go hiking with Ben today. All right, so as I'm kind of packing up here, I thought I'd just quickly go over some things that I got going on in the truck here and how I'm running things. So I am using the Comvolt 2200, which I just did a video on not too long ago. It's powering everything. I have the DC PDU so that way I can run my diesel heater, and then I also have my Iceco APL 55 plugged into this as well, so it's all hardwired, so I don't have to worry about anything coming disconnected. And then I've just got camera gear stuff here. I've got my drone. You can see I've got it charging off the Comvolt right now. And then up front here, I just keep, and I showed this last year, this little grease cell. I use it up in the tent, and then I also kind of use it up front here just because it's super handy to give me some USB ports to charge phones and things like that. And then on the back of the truck, you can see I got the Bougie RV diesel heater, which as far as diesel heaters go, I really like this one. It's super quiet. It's great. I did a video on it last year. I still really love it. My only complaint is, for me, being the fact that my pickup is a gas pickup, I would like to find a good portable heater that runs on unleaded fuel so I don't have to carry an extra fuel with me on these trips. So in the backpack here, I have everything in sealable totes. So one of the things I learned last year when I was out in the truck with Beth in Idaho is there's just no way I am going to keep dust out of the back of my truck. There's just too many holes, too many places that dust can get in. And I had some of my stuff like food and items like that in totes that weren't sealable, and I got dust and everything all over them. So one thing I did after that is bought all sealable totes. I already had this one, but I just picked up these ammo crates. They're kind of nice. They're sealable. And then I just have some regular sealable totes that I got from Home Depot. But that way I can keep everything in those, so that way I can keep dust off things that matter. All right, so we're on our way, and we're headed down the Cascade Lakes Highway. Now, there is a ton of recreation up here. There's several different lakes beyond the one that we're camped on, but then there's also a whole lot of trailheads. So I'm just gonna actually drive down the road, and the first trailhead I see, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull in there and take off for a little bit of a hike. But I know Beth would love exploring this area more. We only have a couple days right now because, like I said, we're still trying to get projects done before Expo PNW that's coming up here in a couple weeks. But we'll definitely have to come back up here and spend some more time because I know there's just so much more that Beth would enjoy up here. All right, well, we found ourselves a little trailhead, and there's a little mountain lake up here. We did drive quite a ways to get up here, but unfortunately it does look like the area burned pretty badly and fairly recently. I think this is probably a fire that happened 2 or 3 years ago, but it does seem fairly fresh. But it does look like, from what I've seen on the drone, that once we get alongside the lake and maybe even beyond the lake a little bit, that we will work our way out of it. Man, I tell you what, guys, this is gorgeous. Like I said, the area behind me is all fairly well burnt, but you come out here on this little grassy spot, and all the rest of the lake looks like it's unburned and still looks pristine. And this little meadowy spot that we came out on is just full of wildflowers. Now, with that said, kind of looks like they're on their last leg, but it's still really gorgeous. Ready to go? Man, I tell you what, guys, if it was a little bit later in the day, this would be a great spot to have lunch. There's a nice little shady area in here where you can tell people have tent camped, little fire ring, but just another little great, beautiful view of the lake. A little point here coming out, but it's still pretty early, so I don't want to stop and eat my food yet because I do want to hike quite a bit more today. So another reason why we're going to keep moving is, I don't know if you can see them on my arm, but man, the mosquitoes have all of a sudden just gotten incredibly bad. They didn't seem to be that bad when we were walking over by the burned area, but as we get in the unburned area, they are getting thick and very annoying. All right, well, we're coming into another spot that'd be really great little tent site or just a little day use site. Come in here and have some lunch. Has some amazing views of the lake again and be just a great spot to spend the day. So yeah, I definitely would like to bring Beth up here, but I know I'm just gonna have to wait until at least September, October, November, because that's really the best time to be up in the Cascade Mountains, at least high elevation in the Cascades, because between May and probably mid-August, the mosquitoes are just really bad up here. They start tapering off about mid-August, but anywhere in between then, they can just be incredibly aggressive, and it just makes enjoying a place like this really difficult. So last weekend, Beth and I took some time and we went to a friend of mine's property just outside of Corbett, Oregon, and he's been working on making that property into like a little destination resort type situation where eventually there'll be camping and a yurt, and I think he's going to put a little cabin in as well. It's a beautiful area just outside of the Mount Hood National Forest, and he's already got set up a really nice sauna, and you can actually rent space in that sauna. And we spent the weekend there, and it was just a beautiful time, beautiful little area. It's just very relaxing. Had a little campfire, just a really nice time. So that was what we did last weekend to kind of take a break from the shop, because like I said, we've been spending most of the week at my shop doing projects. So getting out this weekend for this, and then getting out at my buddy's property last weekend was really nice. But if you are in the Portland or the Gresham area and you really like the sauna, you should look up Bawbs Acres. I'll put a link down in the description. He really takes good care of you out there, and it's just a beautiful place to have a sauna. Come into another little nice meadow. This is actually directly across from where we came in at, and I'd hang out here and definitely eat lunch. We're getting pretty close to lunchtime now, but again, these mosquitoes are just tearing me up. But I'm also noticing there's a nice camp spot right over here as well. This would just be a great little lake to come in, easy hiking, not too far off the road, but an easy hike in to set up a little tent. If you had a float tube or some other little inflatable raft, this would be a great location to come in and be able to float the lake. Plus I have seen some fish jumping out there as well. Well, it looks like somebody put a lot of work into this little fire pit and camp spot. Got a nice little rock table. Fire pit's really nicely built. Looks like to me it hasn't been used too long ago. Area's all nice and cleaned up. And of course you got beautiful view of the lake. We're almost back around to where I came down. In fact, it's just around the corner here, but I think I'm gonna stop right here. The bugs don't seem to be bad right at this spot, and have some lunch. There's a nice breeze coming straight off the water here, so hopefully it'll keep the bugs at bay while we eat our sandwich. It's too bad the bugs are so bad, because man, it is beautiful. Every once in a while the breeze kind of comes up and clears them out for me, but then it gets still and they come flying back in. I think what's getting us now is the horse flies. They're coming out now on top of the mosquitoes, so the mosquitoes weren't bad enough, having some horse flies biting on you. Oh. Everything's all up here. All right, guys. Well, we got back to camp, and we've had a nice day. Beth went out with Ben and did some paddle boarding, and it's just been a really nice summer day. Not too hot, but hot enough to enjoy the water. How did your filming go today?
It was good. I'm exhausted, but it was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
I look forward to seeing how that comes out. So that's going to be on Tiny Home Tours?
Yes, Tiny
channel?
Home Tours. Yep, at the end of June, I believe. So.
Yeah. So anyways, definitely look out for that. I'm sure Beth will have something on her channel when it comes out so people know to go check it out. But I think we're going to wrap things up. We've got some dirt bikers driving behind us. We are camped on a popular lake, and we've got Apollo running crazy back into the van, and it's a little bit crazy, but all in all, it's actually been a really nice weekend, and I've really enjoyed the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed Ben and I's little hike today, enjoyed our little camping area, and if you did, please do give it a like. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave those down below, and we'll see you guys again outside.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.